So today I have a lot to do, a lot of sewing to do actually. Yesterday I sewed over 400 sunflowers, and they're the Pro Cut series of sunflowers. I did White Light and White Night. And then today I'm gonna do some Sun King sunflowers, and I'm also going to do some of my specialty sunflowers that I've been breeding. I've been trying to breed a giant Hopi sunflower, which the Hopi sunflowers are, they're also known as black dye sunflowers. You can use the seeds to make black dye. They look purple, actually. This is what they look like. Really pretty seed. And you can see that these are huge. They're much larger than your normal Hopi sunflower seeds. That's because I crossed these with a gray stripe, or I don't know, some people call them like mammoth sunflowers. I've just, the variety that I originally used is called gray stripe, or giant gray stripe. I can't remember. It was a really long time ago, and I've been seed saving from that stock for years, and I grow them every year. So I crossed it with the Hopi, and that's why it has the shape of that one, but it's a Hopi, or crossed with Hopi. And then look at this one. This one's also a gray stripe crossed with Hopi. So you'll see that the seeds look more like the Hopi seeds did when I planted the first generation. So kind of funky that they switched shapes. So we'll see how these turn out. I'm gonna mix them again in a patch just over here in that back row. And then yesterday we also planted up snapdragons. You can kind of see them there. And then I did the Cinderella lilac in that back half, and then this front half is going to also be Cinderella lilac, but I'm also going to have some other color zinnias in there, like my white pastel exposed zinnias, which are these guys here. I seed started these a couple of weeks ago when it was still really cold, so they're kind of slow to go. But it says white pastel exposed, and this is something I do every time I breed zinnias, is I always put white in my pastel mix, and then I save seeds from all of the white ones, and then I mark them as being exposed. Sorry, I am tongue-tied today. I mark them as being exposed to pastel zinnias, and then I take those white zinnias and I put them in a pastel patch again, and that's how I breed the really light pastels that I get sometimes. So when these come up and they start blooming, I'll weed out the colors that I don't like. But they're probably, I believe this batch is probably going to be mostly pink. So that's why I'm putting it in with my Cinderella lilacs and some of my specialty colors that I'm going to be breeding with the Cinderella lilac. This is an experiment this year, so we'll see how this patch does. So I'm getting ready to plant or sow some sunflower seeds, and I just want to show you guys how I do it. So I have a really bad back. I have back issues that probably need surgery. So I can't do a lot of the heavy lifting, which is why Garrett does it. And bending over and putting seeds in the ground is really hard for me. So I use a broomstick, and what I do is I just poke a little hole like this. And since I'm planting sunflower seeds, I want these to be a 1/2 inch deep, so I just go about a 1/2 inch deep. If I go a little bit deeper, it's totally fine. So you can see I've made little divots in all of these holes, and then I'll fill my pocket with my seeds, and I use this little PVC pipe, and I just put it right over the hole, and I drop the seeds down the pipe, and they drop right into the hole. And then once I've done that, I'll go in with a little scoop of compost, and I'll put some compost on top of each hole, just like a really small amount, just enough to cover up that hole and give that seed a good boost when it comes up. And that's how I get thousands of seeds sown by myself. So what I'm planting in that block are Sun King sunflowers, and I seed saved mine from last year, and this is what the seeds look like. They're really tiny. I'm going to be putting 2 seeds in each of those divots, and then I'll thin them later. Here's a look at the Sun King sunflowers that we grew last year in our garden. They're really pretty. They don't get super tall, and you can plant them a little bit closer together than you would a normal sunflower, about 8 to 12 inches apart. Good job. Go do that one now. Go get some dirt. Go get some soil. Good job. Right there. That one. Uh-huh. No. That one. Good job. Yeah.